Hi, this is Tim with the Minimalist Trainer. Wanted to make a short video today on working shoulders, and one of the key points I wanted to get across, first of all, is to get well-defined and complete shoulder development. You have to remember that there are three separate heads of the shoulder. You know, the front deltoid, side deltoid, and rear deltoid. And in order to get complete, nice looking shoulders, you have to work all three heads. And some of the heavy compound movements do incorporate all three heads, but ultimately you're going to need to do isolation exercises or specific exercises for each muscle head so that they can develop on their own. You know, if you only do a couple certain exercises, a lot of people end up with big front deltoids and no development in the back, or vice versa. Most people don't really work the rear deltoids because it's not a muscle that you see yourself. You know, when you're looking in the mirror, you generally don't see your back. But in order to have that nice wide look of the shoulders in clothes and shirts, you need to make sure you work those as well. Now I'm just going to do a quick exercise for each of those using something that you can find around your home. I'm going to use some half-gallon full milk containers. The best thing is full gallon milk containers, but those are kind of heavy for most people. So a half-gallon usually does the trick when you're just trying to isolate the specific heads. You don't need that much weight when you do that. So I'm just going to do these quick 3 exercises. The key is also, when you're doing these, even though it might seem a little light at first, you know, you want to do 10, 15, 20 reps. You want to do as many as you can. You don't want to come up with a set number, say 10, and then when you reach 10 you stop, because your muscle might not be fatigued at that time. So don't really put a number in your head when doing these. Just do them until it burns and you really can't handle it anymore, and then switch to the other exercise. Alright, so let me sit down and do these for you. Now, like I said, I have these half-gallon milk jugs, which are actually kind of heavy. You might not think so, but when you're doing this type of exercise, it's adequate weight. So first of all, of course, the one exercise that almost everyone knows are side lateral exercises. That's kind of the standard exercise that you see in all the magazines. So now the key to this, of course, is to try to keep your upper body as straight as possible. And I'm sure you've heard of muscle control before. It's the ability to basically, in your mind, feel the exact muscle that you're trying to work, and to try to activate that and not incorporate the other muscles that are around it. And it's especially important for side laterals. So let's start. We'll do these. You can do them one arm at a time or 2 arms. I've found that doing 2 arms at a time, for some reason, seems to really fatigue them quicker, but one arm at a time is certainly adequate as well. Alright, so let's start with these. Try to keep the arms slightly bent, just a little bit bent. You don't want your arms dead straight. You won't have as much power and you could hurt your elbows. So alright, here we go. Another key when doing side laterals is when you get to the top, you want to try and have your pinkies rotate your hands just slightly at the end so that your pinkies are the highest above your thumb, kind of that angle. It just kind of puts an extra burn at the end. Now after you do those side laterals, you want to go straight to front laterals, when you, or not laterals, but front raises with these. It's the same concept with trying to keep your body straight. Try to just focus your mind on that specific front muscle and crank those out. Alright, and the last exercise is going to be for the rear laterals, and like I said before, this is the type of exercise that people just don't fit in, just don't think about the rear lats, or the rear deltoids, excuse me. And for this exercise, you can do them both standing bent over, which is probably the best way. You get a sturdier base, but when you do them sitting down, it really just focuses all the energy into the rear delts. Now, basically, you want to bend over at the waist. You don't really want to go 90 degrees parallel to the floor. You want to stop just short of that, but you can kind of feel with your own body what feels most comfortable. And the key, once again, when you're bent over, you want to kind of pinch, pull back your shoulder blades a little bit, and just kind of feel like you're pinching the center of your back together. That way, you don't want to have slumped shoulders when you're doing this. You want to try to keep them back, kind of like this, when you bend over, and then work on that muscle control of just working the rear delts. All right, it looks something like this. And all right, I hope that you get something out of doing these exercises. Like I said, it might seem a little ridiculous when you just see me doing that, but when you actually do it yourself and have that kind of weight in your hands, you'll see it's exactly equal to having dumbbells or doing something at the gym. And the key is do all the exercises in a row. Don't do one and then rest for 5 minutes and do the other one. That's kind of pointless to let it rest. You want to burn them all at the same time. All right? And you can do it as many times as you want. You can do it a few times a day. Because when you're doing something like that, you're not necessarily going to overtrain unless you sit there for 5 hours and do it. So I hope some of this information can help you, and good luck in your quest to get a good body. Thanks.